So we want to eliminate what's holding us back. But how can you get rid of distractions if you don't even know what they look like? Hey, and welcome to the Mind Your Business Mentor podcast. I'm Stephanie. I'm your mentor and your host. As a life coach for entrepreneurs, I use this podcast to help solopreneurs who are stuck between burnout and breakthrough. I know that struggle, and it usually centers around three things: a lack of clarity, a lack of time, and or a lack of money. But each week we're going to have real conversations about these issues because we're learning how to mind our business holistically so that we can get in alignment with both life and our business. Today's conversation is about discovering what doesn't belong. It's the distractions. And distractions don't just cost you time, they cost you energy, they cost you focus, and sometimes even cost you money, definitely your freedom. And some distractions are obvious, like external activities, overcommitting on things, joining groups that don't align with your vision. And others are subtle and internal, like self doubt, disbelief, distrust, and being unprepared. If you don't know what doesn't belong, you'll keep carrying it, and it will keep carrying you away from your purpose. So we've been working with the 5D philosophy, and we've done episodes that have touched on decide, the power of decisions. We touched on discovery, financial discovery, developing your avatar. And this week we're talking about deliver. Delivery is about showing up every single day with intentional habits that will move you closer to your higher self, your stronger business, and your healthier relationships. But you can't deliver consistently if you're weighed down by distractions. And I know all about distractions. I feel like I have worked in a constant slew of distractions that have kept me misaligned for years. Um, Being an entrepreneur, your loved ones, people around you believe that you have a lot of free time. So they will call you because they feel like you're the only one available to help them to take their car to the shop, or pick them up because they just dropped their car off at the shop, or sit at their house while they're at work because they've got the cable people coming or the landscapers coming or somebody that you've got to pay or supervise or whatever the case may be, babysitting. Um, just call you and talk to you on the phone because it's like you're not at work, so you've got time to talk, right? Now that's on a relationship level. And then on a business level, shiny ball syndrome. Everything looks good. You're scrolling. You could be looking for a recipe to cook for dinner and you get hit up with the best camera that's on the market right now, the best phone that's on the market right now. You get hit up with, you could be selling on Amazon without using any products. You could be investing in cryptocurrency. You could be trading on the stock market. You could do eyelashes and eyebrows, quicker and easier than anybody else has ever done them. You can buy these products for pennies on the dollar and sell them for $50 a piece. You get hit up with so much stuff. And depending on where you are in your journey, you may be enticed to pivot. You may be enticed to turn a different direction. But why would you do that if you haven't put in the time on the original vision, on the original path that you were on in the first place? Why would you do that? Instant gratification, something that might happen faster, something that might happen quicker. But the thing is, you might get into an industry that's not in alignment with the life that you want to build. If someone tells you, oh, you can start a franchise and this franchise might be doing really good in your city at this time, and you can start a franchise for $500 and that all of the additional fees will come out of your sales and this, that, the other. It's like, oh my God, I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. And I'm not going to lie. That sounds really good. Maybe I made that sound a little too good. But anywho, $500 to start this franchise. but you want to travel the world, or you take care of a family member with special needs, like a child or a grandparent or even a parent. Your life does not constitute you being at a brick and mortar for 8 to 10 hours a day, nor does it align with the life that you want to live, where you control your own schedule. You can come and go as you please without business suffering, without sales decreasing, without anybody dropping the ball. You know, I paint this picture of freedom because that's what I want. And I'm hoping that the people that I'm talking to, you guys are on the same page. You're not afraid of hard work, and you're definitely ready to get it in. You're definitely ready to put it in. You're not afraid of hard work, but you don't want to work forever. And if you're older, if you seasoned a little bit, you know, 70s kids, a 70 kids, if you're seasoned a little bit, you ain't got a whole bunch of time. You don't have a lot of time to be, dragging your feet and making slow money. You don't have a whole lot of time where you spending all your time at work. You did that in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s. It's like you get to a point where you want to do something different, right? You want to do something different. So the businesses that you choose, which is what we talked about in the last episode, the business model that you choose, the industry that you choose needs to be in alignment. See, that's what we talk about at the MYB Lifestyle, is about being in alignment with what you actually want so that you can experience joy. You can experience rest and relaxation, and you can experience revenue and abundance all at the same time, because you strategically put things in place in the 6 MYB life categories so that they all work together as a concert, and they're making beautiful music, and you get to dance like nobody is watching. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But let's get back on the subject. See what I'm saying about distractions? That wasn't a distraction. I was just I was just working the story a little bit, just telling y'all a little bit. But y'all know for years that I have gone through a lot of different business industries. And I thought, if I just did more, then it would be good. I tried all these different things, and I kept piling on opportunities, thinking that if I just worked a little bit harder and said yes to everything, eventually something would click, something would take off, something would break through, and my life would be different. But it would be different. But would I like the difference? But the truth, I was exhausted and I wasn't moving forward. I was just moving in circles. Moving in circles. Some of the biggest distractions don't even look like distractions. Being invited to groups, which is a compliment, right? That is definitely a compliment. When someone thinks that your intelligence, that your articulation, your research skills, your worth ethic, all of those things, or any of those things, would be an asset to their organization, that feels really good. It feels good to be asked to join committees and to join different groups and to get on this board and that board. It looks good on paper, but they really weren't aligned with what I was doing. And you can convince yourself that this is something that could benefit me in the future, or I could be networking and meeting people in different areas. I'm building my resources out, so on and so forth. But when you turn around and you look back and you look at the project that you started, when you looked at the business that you started, how far have you gotten? Because you constantly keep putting it on the back burner because you're putting these other obligations and these other commitments in front of what you were initially doing for yourself. Put your own face mask on first before you assist others. And we will get more into that a little bit later in the episode. And then there are hidden distractions. The nights that I stayed up spinning in self-doubt. The disbelief when people around me didn't see what I seen. The distrust that creeps up after being burned a few times, and the times I simply was unprepared, scrambling because I hadn't set myself up properly. None of these things belonged, and until I let them go, I could not step into alignment. Full transparency. I'm still aligning things because life moves and shifts really quick, and it doesn't always move and shift in your favor. But I do have the faith that any roadblocks that I may have encountered, or any failures that I may encounter, or any setbacks that I may encounter, that they were divine and that I'm paying attention so I can see the purpose and not get caught up in the woe is me. Whoa, 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 it's me. I'm never gonna make it. I'm never gonna make it. I'm never gonna bust $10,000 a month. Ah, I didn't want to get caught up with that. I didn't want to get caught up with feeling low. I didn't want my vibration to be low. I did not want God to be disappointed in my level of faith, because God and I are in this together. We are in this together. And if I know that and I believe that and I hold on to that, then distrust or a lack of faith should never be a distraction that I internally have to deal with. But yeah, let's be real. Let's be real. It happens. It still happens. It might last a hot second. It might be, it might be a flash in the mind, but it will not stick around, right? And I've gone through a lot of process to get where I'm at, and I have a long way to go. I have a long way to go. But I'm here with the knowledge that I currently have, the work that I've currently put in, and the journey that I'm currently on. And I'm like, jump in the car, let's roll. Ride with me. Let's get her done, because we are going to figure out how we can get in alignment, how we can free up our time, and how we can live funded on purpose and just live the life of freedom that we definitely are seeking. And the reason why we chose to bet on ourselves and to become entrepreneurs. So let's get into the teaching. Enough about me. Let's get into the teaching part, right? Alignment requires elimination. Alignment isn't just about adding the right things. It's about discovering and eliminating the things that do not belong. Let's talk through the 6 MYB life categories, because this is where distractions will show up the most, and it's going to be the most impactful. So let's start off with personal growth. Taking course after course, but never applying them, it looks like growth. It feels like growth, but really, it's a distraction. Then there's the hidden distraction, which is self-doubt. You think you need more certifications before you get ready, more lessons, more how-tos, more the software, more everything before you get ready to get ready to get ready. Where is self-doubt keeping you in learning mode instead of implementation of your growth mode, right? If you want to deliver in personal growth, you must deliver on what you already know instead of waiting for the next course to give you permission. And then business. Distractions in business often look like opportunities. New partnerships, new platforms, new ideas, but too many yeses create a scattered business and no clear message. The hidden distraction? Disbelief. Not believing that what you're working on is already good enough. Not believing that the offer that you came up with is going to pay the bills. Not believing that one avatar, one offer, one system is enough. Where are you saying yes to opportunities that look good but aren't aligned with your vision? Put them in the comments. If you want to deliver in business, you must deliver focus. Stay focused. One audience, one offer, one clear message, one day at a time. Now, speaking of time, right? That takes us into relationships. You'd be like, how does that relate, Stephanie? Stay with me. Stay with me. Relationships can fuel your vision or drain it. Saying yes to people who don't believe in you, or staying close to people who distrust your path, will pull you off course on the down low. You won't even notice it. You, you'll be so off track, you won't even notice it. What is the hidden distraction? Distrust. Their doubt seeps into you. And suddenly you're second guessing everything that you're doing, especially just yourself. Who in your circle is supporting you? Who is silently canceling out your vision? If you want to deliver when it comes to relationships, you need to be able to eliminate distractions. So, for one, you can spend time with those people that are most important. You want to set intentional boundaries and surround yourself with people who lift, not limit your vision. Finances, borrowing from the wrong bucket, impulse spending, mixing business and personal, like spending the business money like it's yours. Anyway, the hidden distraction there is being unprepared. Without clarity on your numbers, you're always going to react instead of leading because all your money's in one bucket and hey, do whatever you want to do. So the question is, where are you financially unprepared and how is it keeping you from freedom? If you want to deliver in your finances, you must deliver preparation, stewardship, and not reaction. Manage your money, or it's going to manage you. Okay, then there's contribution. Saying yes to every request because you don't want to disappoint people. Okay. Where's the hidden distraction? That's comparison. Thinking your contribution has to look like someone else's. So my question to you would be, where are you giving from? Is it from distraction or alignment? If you want to deliver in contribution, you must deliver from overflow and not obligation or comparison. And quality of life. Your lifestyle should reflect your vision, but distractions sneak in there too. Overworking, chasing perfection, ignoring your health because you're not getting enough sleep, all of that, right? What is the hidden distraction there? Disbelief. Believing that if you don't keep working, it'll never take off. Believing that you don't deserve to rest because you haven't broke through. Believing that the people watching you, if they don't see you working, then they think that you're just playing games. This disbelief is also believing that rest and joy and peace are only for someday, not today. What are you postponing in your quality of life because you don't believe that you can have it now? If you want to deliver in quality of life, you must deliver balance, building a life you enjoy now, not someday. You can go kick it, work. That's what them focus blocks are for. You work hard during the focus blocks and then you take the time. Work hard, play hard. Do your thing, live your life now. Someday we are not promised someday, right? We're just not promised. It's not a promise. And on a more serious note, as it relates to distractions, you could be going through a very tough time right now. You could be suffering from an injury. You could have gotten a diagnosis that's scary. You could be in transit as far as where you live, where you lay your head every day. Your car could be broke down. You could be drowning in debt. Your kids could be running wild. You could be facing legal actions. You could be arguing. You could be in World War III right there in the four walls where you lay your head every single day. You could be going through some things. And these things that are not in your control are also distractions. I'm not saying that those things don't require your time. I'm not saying that those things do not require your attention and your effort because they do. They do. But when you want something bad enough, when you're working and fighting for something bad enough, you will not even let those things stop you from moving forward to create that vision, create the better life, to create the best life that you know you are capable of living. I heard um, Tyler Perry say this, and it just blew me away. And I said, that's good. And I definitely have to adopt that philosophy. And someone had asked him about his failures. And he basically said, I've never failed. And if you know Tyler's story, you know that he lost everything. He went through a lot of emotional and abusive things as a kid. And he was living in his car and he got rejected. People after people were rejecting him, rejecting his stories, his screenplays, so on and so forth. And it's like, he said, I've never failed. He said, I view what other people would call failure as wall in a maze that caused me to go a different direction. So I thought about that and I was like, wow. And I thought about all the different things that I've gone through, 2 divorces, um, raising children and not having enough to give them what you want to give them going through changes that you need to be present for, illnesses, simple illnesses. I'm talking about like a common cold. How is that a problem? Because if you got a bad cold, you're not going to work. And if you're not going to work, you're not getting paid. And your bills don't care that your check was $350 short, right? That's how, you know what I mean? All these, and that's a little thing. That's a little thing in comparison to what people can go through. But, I went through homelessness. I've gone through, just wasting money for, different reasons, mismanagement of funds, being on top of your business where your bill that could have been $50 actually ended up costing you 75 because of the fees that they added because it was late or because you tried to submit it and it was on a Friday, it didn't go through, and blah 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 blah, all of that good jazz. But the bottom line is, don't let what you're going through stop you from getting where you want to go. Don't let it win. Don't let the distractions win. Don't let the misfortune win. Don't let the hindrances and the unforeseen circumstances, the ones that you have control over and the ones that you don't. Don't let it win. Lean in. Lean into your vision. Lean into God who gave you the vision. Lean into yourself with the belief that God would not have given you a vision without giving you the ability to make it come to pass. Lean in. Believe. Trust, and eliminate distractions. So, what are we going to do about it? Man, I got some news. I got some good news for y'all. I really do. All right. So, here's the good news. You don't have to do this elimination process alone. I know you think I'm getting ready to say the My Beginning assessment. Although that is a part of it, I am starting the 30-day Mind Your Business Challenge. 30-day Mind Your Business Challenge was created to guide you through this work on a daily basis. Each day, you'll be taking intentional actions to get aligned, free, and funded. And as you do, you will naturally start eliminating distractions and things that don't belong. This is about you building the habits that allow you to deliver on your higher self, your stronger business, your healthier relationships, and your funded vision. I mean, like, we're going to put it all together day after day, just a little bit at a time. Get on the waiting list for the challenge launching in October. You can find the details at the link below in the description. If today's episode spoke to you, here's what I'd love for you to do. Like, comment. Remember, you're supposed to be commenting your distractions down there. Share this episode with anyone who may need this information. Subscribe and hit the bell so that you don't miss future episodes. Drop your comment and tell me what's one distraction that you are ready to eliminate right now. And then I want you to come back and tell me that it's eliminated. Most importantly, I want you to get on the waiting list for the 30-day Mind Your Business Challenge. It's a step-by-step guide to help you pull all this into action, to put it all into action. You made a powerful decision to push play today. And I thank you for listening and allowing me to accompany you on this life-changing journey. Stay tuned, stay clear, stay focused, and most importantly, mind your business.